One second, Sophie Cunningham was flying down the court. The next, boom, she collapsed, grabbing her leg in agony. No contact, no warning, just pain, raw and real. And when everyone thought it was something minor, it became something else. It happened during a heated battle between the Indiana Fever and the New York Liberty. The crowd, already electric, fell into a hush. Players stopped mid-play. Teammates rushed over. The look on their faces was pure fear. This wasn't just a twisted ankle, it felt bigger. The trainers called for help fast. And as Sophie was carried off, clutching her head, fighting tears, it wasn't just a player going down, it was the heartbeat of the team. The Fever weren't just losing a body, they were losing their fire, their edge, their voice. But to really understand why that moment shattered everything, you need to know who Sophie Cunningham really is. Let's go back. Sophie Cunningham isn't just a name on a roster. She's the pulse of every team she suits up for. Loud, fearless, relentlessly intense. Her impact isn't something you see on a stat sheet. It's something you feel the second she steps on the floor. She plays with fire, dives for every loose ball, talks her talk with a grin, then backs it up with gritty defense and lights out shooting. Her energy doesn't just lift the team, it charges the whole arena. She's the one yelling after a huge stop, rallying her squad when they're down, and throwing her body in for a charge no one else wants to take. But when she's not out there, everything changes. The rhythm's off, the chemistry slips, the energy feels flat. Without Sophie, the Fever don't just lose a player, they lose their identity, that edge they play with. It fades, plays break down, communication stalls. She's the engine, the spark, the emotional heartbeat that keeps the team alive. And it's not about points or highlight plays, it's about what she stands for: grit, fight, belief. So when that engine suddenly shut down mid-game, the shift was instant. Things started falling apart, fast. The fallout, Fever without her. The moment Sophie Cunningham was out, you could feel it. The Fever took the floor, but something was different. Yeah, they ran the plays and moved the ball, they gave effort. But the vibe? It just wasn't there. The defense, usually locked in and sharp, started slipping. Closeouts came a step late. Rotations were off. The energy, flat. The pace, unfocused. It felt like watching a team trying to find its heartbeat and not finding it. Even the stars looked uneasy. Passes came slower. Screens weren't called out. The flow broke down. It was like they were all waiting for someone to ignite the fire again. But Sophie wasn't there. They still battled, no doubt. Nobody's questioning the effort, but effort without spark, it doesn't stick. The fight didn't feel the same. That Fever edge, the thing that made them dangerous, it had dulled. And that's when people stopped asking, how serious is Sophie's injury? And started asking, how serious is this team without her? Because at that point, it wasn't just about missing a player, it felt like the team had lost its soul. Why she matters. Beyond the box score. Let's talk about what makes Sophie Cunningham different. She's not the top scorer. She's not the flashiest name on the roster. But she's the one who screams after taking a charge, dives headfirst for a loose ball with zero hesitation, and doesn't care if you're a rookie or a vet. If the defense isn't right, she's barking orders, loudly. Sophie isn't just part of the system, she is the system's spark, the kind of player whose energy radiates. She's the thermostat. You either feel her fire or you freeze. And when she's on the court, you know it, you hear it, you see it, you feel it. She plays with a chip, a grit, and a level of chaos that makes the game uncomfortable for opponents and sometimes even teammates. But that's the point. She forces intensity. She demands urgency. She raises the floor, not by numbers, but by presence. Ask any coach. They'll take 10 players who go 110% over one who just drops 20 points quietly. Ask her teammates. They trust her voice in the huddle and her body on the line. Ask the fans. They erupt when she checks in because they know something real is about to happen. And that's why her injury wasn't just a lineup adjustment. It was a shock to the Fever's entire identity. The Warrior Code, her identity. Sophie Cunningham never had anything handed to her. She's fought for every second on the court. Back at Missouri, she didn't just play, she carried that program. A hometown kid, scrappy and fierce, who turned expectations into fuel. She's never fit the perfect mold. Too intense, too emotional, always doubted, passed over in draft talks, overlooked in rotations, but that's what made her. She doesn't lean on talent, she leans on heart. She defends the toughest assignment, sprints both ends, sacrifices her body like it's second nature. That's not just effort, that's a code, a warrior code. She plays for respect, for her team, for the grind. And when she went down, it wasn't just a leg. It was like the soul of the Fever hit the floor too. Because Sophie's not just a player, she's the pulse, the fire, the fight. And when that goes silent, everyone feels it. The road back, grit over pain. For most players, they rehab quietly, but not Sophie Cunningham. She doesn't do quiet. The second she was cleared to move, the grind began. Practice clips hit social media, sweat pouring, face locked in. The fire in her eyes are still burning, maybe even hotter than before. No pity posts, no sad music montages, just Sophie lifting, sprinting, shooting, grinding, refusing to let this injury define her. But the questions still linger. Can she be the same? Will that spark, that energy, that edge still be there? Can she still throw her body into defenders, scream after big plays, and shift the pulse of a team? Well, the answer is absolutely, because that's who Sophie is. She doesn't just recover, she reloads, she turns pain into fuel and setbacks into slingshots. This return won't be quiet. It'll be electric, unapologetic, full throttle, and the league better be ready, because Sophie isn't just coming back to play, she's coming for everybody. The Storm returns, Sophie's second wind. Later on, word broke, Sophie Cunningham is back, and she's not easing in. She's charging full speed, locked in like a missile with a purpose. From the warm-ups, you could feel it, the way she laced up, the way she hit her pre-game shots with force, not finesse. In the locker room, teammates buzzed, fans held their breath. This wasn't just a return, it was a revival. But there were questions, big ones. Could the ankle take contact? Could she push off, cut hard, fly into passing lanes like before? Could she still ignite the team with just one scream, one hustle play? They didn't have to wait long. First defensive possession. Sophie dives across the floor, snatching a loose ball like it owed her money. Crowd explodes, bench jumps, energy flips. That one moment said it all. She's back. Not 70%, not working her way in. Back. The grit, the edge, the fire, it all returned in one heartbeat. It wasn't just her presence that changed the game, it was what it signaled. The Storm isn't just weather, it's a warning. Sophie brings chaos to opponents and calm to her team. And after everything the Fever's been through, this isn't just another chapter, it's personal now. Because when Sophie steps on the floor, she isn't just playing, she's proving something. Conclusion, the soul of the Fever. In a league packed with stars, high flyers, and stat sheet stuffers, Sophie Cunningham is something else entirely. She's not chasing the spotlight. She is the spark that lights everything around her. She doesn't play for highlight reels. She plays like every possession is personal, every game a battle, every loose ball a challenge to her heart. And when that heart almost stopped, when Sophie went down, you could feel it across the Fever locker room. The energy shifted, the noise dulled, the team moved, but without rhythm. Now, and it's different. The Fever aren't just competing again, they're believing again. They've got their soul back, their edge, their fire. Because with Sophie Cunningham on the floor, it's not just basketball, it's war with purpose. And that's what makes them dangerous, fueled by heart, fueled by Sophie. The rest of the league, you've been warned. If you felt this, if you ride with players who bring grit over glory, drop a like, hit that subscribe, and let us know in the comments, how far can the Fever go with Sophie leading the charge?